Hello, welcome. It's day 13 of learning to read Chinese, and today I didn't really get to look into the background information on the content, so we're still going to go over the meanings of the individual words, but for the meaning of the lines in the context of the poem about politics and society and stuff, not going to be able to delve too deep into that today. We'll get back to it. Starting from 六, this is the number 6. I believe we went over in a previous lesson the fancy banknote version of this, but this is the regular everyday one. 贼 means to cruelly injure or kill, to harm, hurt, slaughter, murder. And this is also used as an intensifier to mean something is extremely a certain adjective. It's kind of like when you say something is killer, but it's used as an intensifier. 七 is the number 7. That's all you need to know. 害 means to injure, damage, harm, hinder. It also refers to feeling afraid or ashamed or suffering a disaster or calamity. So this 六贼七害, 六贼七害 is referring to these 6 kinds of bad things and 7 kinds of bad people. It refers to this this text we can revisit this, but it's a text from some time ago referring to basically things that are types of behaviors and people that are like blights upon society. You can delve deeper into it later. 监 means to supervise, take charge, or it also refers to prisons. 视 means to look at. It refers to the sense of sight and vision, and also to inspect or administer. 审 means to know, check, inquire, being careful and cautious about something. 听, this is a word for hearing, to hear, and also to understand, obey or comply. So like when you heard an instruction, you act accordingly. That's also called 听. So this is kind of about surveillance, supervising and carefully listening to everything that's going on to monitor for these horrible societal ills. 戒 means to be careful or cautious and warn against or abstain from something. 贪 is greed. It means the sort of seeking for more that leads to corruption. 虚 also has sort of a meaning of originally referring to fibers like beard fibers or like feelers on bugs, that kind of thing. But now it refers more to as a grammatical part for things that are bound to happen. Is this the one? It is. So like 必须 is a very common word which means must, as in you must do this or this must happen. So this is 需要means need to do something. So this is this 需 is must, should, inevitable, things like that. 效 this 效 is the result that you want. 效果 where 果 is fruit. Someone used for that. The result or the effect, the function of something. Jin. This jin you see on the left, this is represents a foot, 足. And on the right is kind of like this is some sort of tool. But this is the one for a road. Anyhow, the original meaning of this is to trample or tread underfoot. And it also refers to fulfilling an action, carrying out a duty. 约 originally, you see on the left, this is the string. So originally it meant to restrain, bind, bundle up. It also has a meaning of to hinder, but we mostly use it for agreements or appointments. Like if you agree to something in advance, whether that's an event or a pact or treaty or something of that nature. 一 means should or ought to. It means suitable, fitting, and proper, or certainly. 恒 means lasting, constant, always, persevering. So this 见约宜恒. Hold on, first part of the phrase. 戒贪虚效. So this 戒贪 is a warning to abstain from greed. 虚效. I'm supposing means that you always have good results from that. 见约 would be to fulfill your agreements or carry out things as appointed. 宜恒 means should always, it's always suitable and proper for these things to last. So for being loyal and reliable. 贬 means to abase, belittle, degrade, reduce, demote. This is on the, hold on. This left half is money. Got a foot here. Yeah, I can't say understand what that's supposed to mean either. This red means evil. It refers to like a villainous person, just bad, dirty, evil. You've also got a few different alternate readings where like 恶心 would be like nauseous, feeling sick, and this is using words like 厌恶, which means to loathe or hate, specifically with envy, but also in general, just to like, if someone really disgusts you and you hate them, you use this because, yeah, for 恶. So that's 3 meanings, and they all kind of have related meanings for the 3 pronunciations. Ball. This ball means to honor and praise, to commend. Its meaning of high, tall, and vast comes from the kind of the original meaning of it, which was loose, like for your clothes to be wide, that kind of thing, which I'm not sure how that evolved into being about honor and praise, but that is what we use it for now. 记 also refers to achievements and merits. So like 成绩, I think it would be, 成绩 is a word for like when you get good grades in school. This 匾额包记, it's for like condemning and punishing people for evil and rewarding them for high merit achievements. 赏 means to enjoy, appreciate, praise. 赏 also refers to a word. 劝 means to advise, urge, or persuade. And it specifically has this connotation of trying really hard to convince someone of something. 罚 means to penalize, punish, or discipline. 惩 means similarly, like warn against, punish, to restrain, to stop. So this is, I think usually you would see this word used as in the other direction. You would see it as 惩罚, not as 罚惩, but it means the same thing. And this is, again, kind of repeating and emphasizing what has been in the previous few lines, where you praise and reward the good things and you punish using awards, praise and awards and punishments appropriately according to the good and bad deeds. Tall. This tall, you've got the hand on the side, so you know you're doing something. This tall means to control, operate, steer, or conduct, to be engaged in something. So that's like the word 操作 is to take an action and do a thing. It's controlling, operating. 刃. This is 刃. You can see this is a knife, and that is the edge of a knife. This is the word for blade. 直 also means to carry out, take control, and take charge. Also refers to your best friend, your closest friend, but as a verb we're talking about taking action, taking charge. 斧 is an axe or a hatchet. And this is another one of those ones where the character originally was just a drawing of the tool, and it used to look a lot more like the actual thing. Sight, when read this way, means to stop up or block up, stuff, cram, squeeze in, like plugging something with something else. To suppress or prohibit. That sort of thing. If you see practice bribe, this is kind of like, stuffing somebody's pockets or mouth with the money so that they do what you want. Sort of idea. Cork, this is like a wine stopper because you're also using a thing to block up and stop the liquid from coming out of the bottle. Set. When this is read set, it refers to a fortress or frontier, a strategically important place. And when it's read soot, this is just stuff. So I think this would be the one that's used in... This is actually... Hello? It's not giving me the pop-up over here like it usually does. Not nice. Anyway, I don't think that's particularly commonly used. I think probably most common would be this one for stopping up and plugging something. Jun. This jun has a water on the side. It originally referred to a tiny stream, like a small flow of water, or drip even. And now it also means tiny things in general. It means to clear, like to wash away or get rid of something and make it clean. Choose. Jiu. This jiu can mean to prohibit or hinder. It also can mean to rescue or save or treat. This is like treating a disease, saving someone from an illness. Ying. Ying refers, you see it's got grass and a fire. This refers originally to the light from fireflies, so like a small glimmering light. But it also refers to being puzzled and confused, like in the head. So this 超人, no, 超人. 超刃直斧. It's like you're wielding a blade and using an axe. And what are we doing with them? We are 赛卷就赢. We are stopping up. What? Hold on. There's gotta be something like, keeping our communities clean and making sure that the little light shines on, or something to that effect. When it's talking about a trickle, I guess it's like kind of like the English language idiom of nipping something in the bud. Like if you stop up the stream when it's small, then it won't grow to become a river. So in that way, you can prevent problems before they happen. You want to take the small things seriously so they don't become more serious and terrible. And because I'm not getting too deep into it, we can keep going. These ones don't have... Hold up. Just go back here so I can edit these pages. It's not letting me do that. Okay, don't know why. In that case, I gotta do it in another window and you won't see what I'm doing. Okay. This sh, I believe, is used in words such as shuri, which refers to power, an ability, influence, and authority. And just get this formatted. Power, authority, influence. Force, situation, posture, form, the outward appearance of a natural object. What even are half of these? I think I'll just leave the rest because I don't really get potential, grand opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. What's this telling us here? Suddenly a big fire? Okay. Still don't really understand that. Trying to figure out what to put in this box. Potential. The tendency. The trend. Force, power, influence, sign, circumstances. I guess that's like situation. We will go with that. Rule. 如 usually used for like, as if, something that can be compared. Comparable. That's probably the most commonly used meaning. For instance, for example, such as good. In accordance with, comply with, if. I think those are also appropriate. Oops. Oh, look at all these. There's so many of them. But 如果 is if. It's a very, very common word. I'll put in the Chinese explanation. If it's used after an adjective, it means a action or thing's state. What? Not sure what it means by that, but moving on. This is commonly used in the word, I believe, 突然. 突然, which means suddenly or abruptly. This also means, in general, it means things suddenly. These other meanings are not really commonly used, as far as I know. Assault, forward or outward. Offend, protrude. I guess mostly we just use it for suddenly. Tutu. Yeah, tutu is like a breakout. It's something that protrudes. Protuberant. Okay, so I guess that, yeah. Something that breakthrough is 突破. 途径, advanced by leaps and bounds. So this is kind of like something that increases the advancing force of any of these words, like 进, which means to advance, 破, which means to break through or poke through, and 起, which is like to get up, and wait is to encircle. Any of these things, if you add 突 to it, then it's like 突显, 突袭, 突现. It just means that it happens suddenly and all at once, like a rush or an explosion. 起. There we go. 突起. Like suddenly arose. It's messy. Stand up. Stand up, get up. Produce. I don't know about that one. Happen, take place. Start, begin. Yes, that is true. Cause or origin. Insurgents. Build. Call up. You don't want to get this too long. Arouse. Used as a complement after a verb indicating the upward direction. This is true. Like if you say 提起来, it's like you want to lift upward. 兴奋起来 is you want to get excited, you want to lift your mood. Or that's kind of these sorts of grammatical bits that don't exist in English get kind of hard to explain. But it is used that way, indicating the upward direction. Used after a verb together with the or 不, as in meaning can afford or cannot afford. So that's like 买, since 买 is to purchase, to buy. If you say 买不起, that means you don't have enough money to buy something, you can't afford it. And 买得起 would be that you can afford it. So that's also another very common usage of this character, which has nothing to do with the meaning of getting up or taking place or beginning. Not really. I guess sort of with picking up, like if you can or you can't. But I think it's different enough to list it separately. Yeah, as far as taking on like a responsibility. But that would be like 担起责任, you know, would be another instance of using it as a complement after a verb, which indicates the upward direction, which we discussed, where you take it on, you lift the burden upward and you put it on yourself. I think we'll just leave it at that, but I'm gonna fill the Chinese box. Man, this is really long, but领取. Gotta delete some of these. get up from sitting or standing. You leave your original position and begin pull up. Delete this one. Something goes from below to above. It goes from small to large. So it happens. Establish. I think ichi is also this one. Ichi means to do something together, like to cooperate and to gang up. Which is like one upwards. So like, I guess in a way that also does make sense. We're just gonna leave it like this even though it's really long. Okay, moving on. Next one. To. This one, using a hand, perform an action. What are we doing? We are pulling something out. Draw it forth. Take out. To. Okay. Suck. Also. Specifically referring to things that are longer than they are wide, I would say. Or like they have one small dimension. You wouldn't use cho for something that's like a box, I think. Unless it was like, it has this sort of connotation of slipping out. Take a part from the lot. If you're selecting one thing out of many, you would use to. Draw forth. Sprout. Sprout. Hotel. I don't know about that one. Lash. Whip. Chose. I guess like pulling thoughts from your head. Select. Suck. Sure, we'll keep one of each of these, I guess. Yeah, but it's has a connotation of using like a long and thin object. This xing has a grass on top, so it's got referring to like firewood, collecting firewood. That's the original meaning of faggot, which is a bundle of firewood. And then also because that's what keeps you warm, which is kind of like needed for your shelter needs and maintaining your home in a habitable condition, and also refers to salary. We'll do it like this. Don't want anyone getting confused. Shit. This is not too long, I would say. Shit, this is 5 fire on the left, and then this is like, what is that? This has got a heart and a nose. Not sure why it has a heart, but this refers to oh, you know, that might be a phonetic bit. Yeah, on the right, without the fire on the left, it's also read as shi, but it's the one that means to, like, to calm down and stop, rest, cease. So it kind of has both the phonetic one, because it's also read shi, and also the meaning of quelling a fire. I'll fix the description. Put all our spaces back in here. Extinguish or put out a fire. Light, etc. Wither away. Die out. Come to an end. Refresh it. There you go. Looks good. Pink. This pink means gentle, peaceful, mild, quiet. And I get this. I think there's a few too many synonyms over here. Flat. That's like, you do use it for like just a flat surface. And then if you think of like water being flat, then that means that it's calm and peaceful. Flat, level, peaceful, gentle, equal. Yeah, on a plane, like on a flat plane. Things that are equal, fair and just. Common, ordinary, yeah, that too. Just like, you know, on the same level as everybody else. Deliberate. If you're talking about calm down, calm and deliberate, that's like when your emotions are peaceful and level, and you can better approach discussions. Pretty much. Yeah, let's get this Chinese one. And what have we just gone through? This next line. 视如突起. This is the power and influence, like it suddenly comes up. You pull out the firewood, extinguish. Okay, so we had this metaphor about stopping the stream before it becomes a flood, and now here we have another metaphor about quelling a fire before it rages and destroys everything. You gotta use the power and influence. It's gotta be mobilized effectively to deal with urgent situations like pulling out the firewood and quenching the fire, restoring peace. That's what this is about. And this 6汉, there's actually quite a lot involved in there. I could give you the whole list. I can't right now. Maybe next time. Maybe when I re-record this with more information. I believe I did find an article about it specifically. But I find it. I will look into it. Anyways, it is time for today. So, next time, I have more information for you. Try to get those backlog of streams for the previous chapters up as quickly as possible. And I just realized I put my mouse up there. It's going to be horrible mouse noises again. But I'll see you tomorrow.